Okay, so it is raining crazy here, and I don't know if you can actually hear that or not, but we're gonna try to do this video. We're gonna do this video because I've been wanting to talk to you guys about this, but I am, let me read just this a little bit. Okay. I've been wanting to do this video, but it's just the timing. It's like there's always something, you know how that is. That's just life. That's everybody's life. That's your life. That's my life. That's their life. That's her life. I'm just saying. But today I actually went and had the follow-up, the 2-week, 14-day follow-up to my gallbladder removal surgery that I talked to you guys about probably in August, I believe it was. So I am gonna talk to you guys about that. I finally got that done. I don't even know, like things have been so crazy and our relationship has been so strange because I feel like there was a time where I could guarantee that if something happened in my life, I told you about it, but not so much anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I know I talked about the surgery, how I found out that I had gallbladder stones and that there was like a really big one. And I have been having pain over there, and for years was told it was normal for fibromyalgia people to have pain in their ribs. That's totally normal. Pain just all over, just pain, just totally normal. And I had gone to a gallbladder, a gastroenterologist, we'll go with it, a gut doctor. And he was like an older guy. He was really old. I would say like 75 to 80 years old. And he was really mean about my weight and about like, he was just focused on my weight. It was all about my weight, all about how I did this to myself, all about how, of course, I don't feel good because of my weight, like just on and on and on. Paisley. So basically, I felt like shit when I left that place. I felt like I had done this to my family, like this was all my fault. And what I was not told was that I had gallbladder stones, the gallstones, and that it was inflamed and that could be causing a lot of the problems. So, which can also be due to weight and weight related. I'm not saying that my weight was a good thing or a bad thing. I'm saying that aside from just fussing at me, because he really was not in a medical concerned, not in any kind of way. I think really he instilled a deep fear of my own body on me at that point. And that's a whole other story that I can go into great detail about later, but that's not what this is about. This is a happy, positive video because, so I did not know, but for apparently 10 years, I had gallstones that had also chronically inflamed my gallbladder. So thank God nothing ever horrible, like it didn't ever blow or anything like that. So that's good. But, going to the new guy, the new doctor, he was like, well, yeah, but you knew you had those. I did not know. And I told him that. And he was like, well, basically everybody's kind of like, we're confused about the diagnoses that you have because the diagnoses that you have are kind of like a diagnosis of exclusion, which would mean that before you would get that diagnosis, which is in your record, which you clearly have, but before you would get that diagnosis, your gallbladder normally through the course of treatment would have been taken out. So I met with a surgeon who was like, yeah, it should come out. It was kind of a weird experience. He seemed a little bit flippant and kind of chill, but I guess it's because he does so many of them. And I talked to you guys, I think at that point I needed to get money together for a surgery. The way that my insurance works, because I am blessed and privileged to have insurance, and I am also extremely grateful because I have it through my wife, which up until 2015, I was not allowed to be on her insurance plan. So that's a beautiful thing. Hey, poet, no. So the way that our insurance works is that you have like a certain amount that comes out of pocket. Now, if it was an emergency, like if it did blow and I went to the emergency room doubled over in pain, they would have just taken it out. But since it was a medically necessary elective surgery is kind of how they worded it. Like, yes, it needs to be done. Yes, it needs to, like, it could get worse and it could be blah, 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 very, very bad. And so it's like a preventative surgery that is medically necessary due to the gallbladder stones and the chronic inflammation of the gallbladder but it is elective because you're not dying from it right this minute, kind of thing. So medically necessary elective surgery, you have to pay the deductible up front, and that was over $4,000, and that is because we already had some of it covered. Anyway, so that was kind of like, that's, I don't know, I was working towards it, but it was out of reach. Then my parents, very, very, again, privileged and blessed that they decided to help us out with a down payment. So they gave us $1,000 for the down payment for the surgery. And then right after they did that, my wife's father is, he was in a band. Like, the band was pretty popular in New Orleans and in Louisiana and in the Gulf Coast area. And, is my understanding. And, they got inducted, that band got inducted into the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame. And as part of that show, they had like a show, and the show was a charity show where they donated their portion of the money. And he called and was like, I want to donate my portion to you guys and to, like, for Sonia's surgery, like to Sonia's surgery, which was amazing. So that was another $800. So altogether we were able to put $1,400 on the surgery, and the rest is on the payment plan. And $400 of that $1,800 that we were given went to the blood work that I had to get the blood, like 3 different blood panels. That's crazy expensive. It is crazy expensive. That's with insurance and everything else, but the out-of-pocket fee. So it was like $400 of that went to the pre-surgery blood work. So that, all in all, the $1,800 went to get the surgery done. Hallelujah. That's amazing. So we did it. Now, look at my nails. See this? That's because even when I paint them, they don't look nice because I'm biting them. Because once I realized that that surgery was happening, I started to freak out. Like, yes, I'm glad that I can feel better, but no, I'm not excited about being put to sleep. Putting me to sleep is like the scariest thing. And I'm sure that that's scary for everybody. But my father had a sister, an older sister, that he actually never met because she died being put to sleep for surgery. Now, she had heart issues. She was a little baby. She had heart issues, and it was in the 40s. So obviously, medicine has advanced. I don't have her issues. I'm not a tiny baby. Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot, but I think growing up, knowing that and hearing that story and like the tragedy of Barbara Ann just has always been like in the back of my head. And then I remember being a young child and overhearing a story that like my dentist had put somebody to sleep to do some kind of oral surgery and that the child had died. And again, that's a dentist in a dentist's office. That is a child's memory of a story that I'm not 100% about. But those two things in me created a deep-seated fear of like being put to sleep. So that was my biggest thing. I started biting my nails, and now it's kind of like I bit my nails all the way until I was like 20, and then I was able to stop. So 20 years of biting them, 17 years of not biting them, and now I chewed them up. But I'm really hoping to try to stop. Normally, when I start to bite my nails again, because I'm a little bit nervous, it's I usually stick some press-ons or get them done and grow them out, and it's fine. But this time I'm being ultra creative. Hallelujah again. It's another amazing development. Thank the goddesses that I am moving towards more creativity. And that's really amazing, and I'm really excited. And but I can't do it with fake nails on because it just doesn't feel good, and it works, so I can't do that either. Like, because on the because I use a laptop, and the laptop keyboard is not the same as like a keyboard. It just feels different when you don't. When you grow the nails out, you kind of adapt, but when you just stick them on, it's like Anyway, so let me talk to you about the surgery. Laparoscopic gallbladder surgery, and I'm gonna talk about poop. We're all adults, maybe we're not. Anybody could be watching. But I'm going to talk about defecation. That's the right word. So anyway, I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to go into some gross things. But anyway, gross. It's not really gross. It's freaking nature. We're all animals and humans and like just part of the earth and of this universe. It's actually all quite beautiful if you think about it. But anyway, so I have always had stomach issues. I've always, and when I say that, I don't just mean bathroom problems. I mean like stomach issues. I've always had stomach pain. I've always had like a lot of like a nervous stomach. Anything that happened would cause me to either have diarrhea or to feel like I was going to vomit. Like I have always had a very nervous stomach. As I grew up, I was diagnosed with, again, one of the things the doctor was like, how'd they diagnose you with this when there was an issue that they didn't fix? But anyway, I was diagnosed with IBS, and also along the way, when I got all the bumps, Crohn's was brought into the picture. So Crohn's issues, IBS, just a bunch of those kind of things. So I've always dealt with that. And my stomach always kind of hurt. Just, it's kind of weird when you deal with chronic pain or illness of any kind. I will tell you, and I can't speak for everybody with chronic pain or illness, but I will tell you that it's almost like noise. Like it becomes white noise to your body and to your everyday life. It stops being interruptive on the daily basis. So like, imagine if you got a stomach ache and you're like, oh my God, I just feel so ill. Like I can't even think about work because my stomach hurts so bad. But if you felt that way every day, like in the beginning, it would be like wild. It's hard to imagine. But after a year, you almost forget what normal felt like. And that new level of stomach ache becomes normal. So then when it gets really bad, you're like doubled over. You literally cannot walk because of the pain. You're like in agony. You're like, oh my God, this is a bad day. But those other days where you just have stomach pain, but you can get through it and it's just a part of your life and it makes everything else kind of suck worse, but it's just there. It almost becomes your new normal level. And any day that you have less pain is just a really great day. So that's kind of how chronic pain and chronic illness works. In my world, it's kind of a weird thing when people are like, yeah, but you've been feeling better, right? And it's like, you mean because I'm functioning? You mean because I'm able to walk? Because a lot of times my joints and my legs are what seize up and get really painful. So like walking becomes very painful. But it's like, is that what you're talking about? Like, because I can walk? If you see me walking with a limp or bent over, it's because it is so bad that I feel like agony. But on a normal day, when I'm just walking, it still hurts. It just doesn't hurt that bad, kind of thing. And then on good days, it still hurts, but it feels better. So it almost feels good because it doesn't hurt as bad. It's like when you get dental work and you bite down really hard and that hurts really bad and then you let it go. It's like, oh, that relief. Your teeth still hurt, but it's also a relief. It's hard to explain other than that, but there you go. So I always lived like that. That was just part of life. As far as the stomach issues, that's what I'm talking about right now. That was like always an issue. And I had the surgery on the 24th, and early in the morning, I went, had my little nightgown on. Girl, I did. I wore my nightgown and I wore my little fuzzy socks, and I went, and I had a fantastic nurse on the take-in, and he was really funny and really good dealing with me because I was super scared. And I had a really great team of anesthesiologists. Yeah. The anesthesiologist. Those people were fantastic. They rolled me into a room. One of the guys was from the town that I grew up in. It was fantastic. Like, and then I just kind of went to sleep. I remember waking up in a lot of pain. A lot of pain, not like in my stomach, in my chest and in my back. And apparently that's because when they fill you up with air so that they can see what's going on in there, because they're working in these little holes, the air is still in there and that takes a while to leave, and that is extremely painful. So I woke up, I was really freaking out, like I felt like I might be kind of having a panic attack, but almost I was in so much like chest and back pain that I couldn't even panic. It was a weird situation. I couldn't breathe. Amber was there. The nurse that was taking care of me was a total witch bitch. Like, you know what? I don't want to use either one of those words for her because she doesn't deserve them. She was a cranky grunk. A grumpy, cranky grunk. That's what we'll call her. I don't even know what that means, but that is what she was. She was just an unhappy, grunky person. And the cat's eating something. I don't trust that because she shouldn't have anything. Anyway, so she was mad. She had to re-IV me to give me more medicines. It was really like whatever. She, before Amber got there, had tried to make me swallow a pill, which I do think I swallowed, but like I couldn't swallow. Like my throat hurt because I had an intubation tube down my throat. My chest hurt so bad and I couldn't get my breath, or I don't know if I could not get my breath because of all the pressure from the air, or if I couldn't get my breath because I was panicking because of how bad I was hurting. But whatever it was, she was like, well, you gotta take a pill. You gotta take a pill. She gave me this pill. And I was still wigging out, and then Amber came and I was freaking out. And so they put a new IV in me and they gave me an anti-anxiety medication, which basically knocked me out. And I don't remember the rest of the day. I have like little snippets of being put into bed. I hit my head trying to get into the car. Like those, I just don't remember. I don't even know when I woke up, to be quite honest. I know Amber woke me up and gave me like toast and a pill. I know that happened because she was taking care of me and giving me pills and I had to eat something, but I don't actually know that happened because of my memory. So no real memory. Slept a lot. That next morning I woke up early, like I think 5 o'clock in the morning, because I was taking my pills at 5 and 11. So I woke up at 5 a.m., took some medicine, felt a lot better, on and off, slept throughout the day. So it was Wednesday, Thursday. By Friday, I felt good. I got up. I mean, I was still in pain. Like I was still taking my pain medicine like at the time that I was supposed to, but I felt good. I got up, I came to the couch, we watched TV. I kind of fell asleep, like, you know, walked around a bit, and the progress continued to like just leaps and bounds. Now, backing it up. I started my period the day after my surgery. Straight up, full on cramps and nausea and like all of that. So there were a couple of days after that I was like, I don't know if I'm nauseous because of my period or if I'm nauseous because of the surgery. I don't know why. I would feel like shit anyway. So I don't really know, but I definitely don't feel great, like whatever. But it dawned on me probably around day 4 that I felt better in my stomach that I had felt in like, I don't know, 15, 17 years, like forever, as long as I can remember. So I was like, oh my God, Amber, you know what's going to happen? Like, I'm going to be off of my period and I'm going to be not in pain. And all of a sudden, like, I'm going to feel like the good feeling is still going to be here. That's absolutely amazing. And, she was like, yeah, I hope so. That's awesome. And it has. I feel so much better in my stomach. And so going back to poop, here we go. I always was either constipated or had diarrhea. That was my life. It didn't matter how hydrated I was. It didn't matter what I ate. It did not matter. Like nothing mattered. That's just how my stomach was. It was never okay. And then about 5 months ago, I was given this medication that's for IBS, and it's I want to call it a bowel sedative. And for the first time in as long as I can remember, my stomach felt calm. And so like that was the first time I had no stomach pain. And it actually would cause things to slow down and like become normal. And I wound up having normal bathrooms. So, which would make sense. Like if it's calm and everything's fine, then it's going to produce calm and everything fine type of bathroom movements, right? Great. So that's the first time that ever happened in my life that I can, not obviously probably not in my life, but that I can remember over the past 20 years. So that was pretty awesome. And I really liked that medicine, but I didn't like taking it all the time because I don't want to be on any kind of medication all the time. And I was supposed to take it as needed. So when my stomach was really messed up, when I was really messed up, I would take that medicine. Things would be great. Awesome. Since I had the surgery, now I will be honest, my diet has changed a lot. since I had the surgery, I feel fine. I feel so good. Like, I feel like I'm taking my medicine every day and I'm not having to take it. I'm having normal bathroom movements and I'm not having to take medicine. Like, I have every once in a while, this side pain that I was having all the time, and literally anytime I laid on that side, it was like this discomfort, like the swollenness of the organ there, like all of that is gone. Immediately that was gone, and it's still gone. If I hop around too much, if I celebrate a touchdown too much, if I get a little too crazy, if I push or like squat down, there's times when I'll have like a little bit of a bruise feeling. Almost 99% of the time, if I touch the bruise and then look at where it's at, I'm touching an insertion, like where they put a tube all the way through all of the layers up under the muscle and everything else. So it makes sense that those things are bruised and feeling sensitive, obviously. And then I was having, if I breathe really, really deep, I was having this weird like ache. And I talked to the doctor today about it, and he basically, when I told him what was happening, he touched me and said, he was like, right here, we insert a tool that helps us with like opening up the area and seeing. And right where he touched is right where I feel the discomfort. And he was like, that's totally normal. That's a bruise. It's like moving things around. Of course, you're going to feel kind of bruised. That should go away between 10 and 12 days. Well, I'm at 14, and I'll say that like, it was pretty bad up until probably 2 days ago, 12 days. And now it's like, if I breathe, if I like hyperventilate in a deep way to try to see if it hurts, I can make it hurt. Well, that makes sense. If you're aggravating something, you're going to make it hurt, but no, it is so much better. It is there. If I take a really big deep breath, like to yawn or like a sneeze, I might kind of feel it, but it's way better. And I feel really good. All of my incisions they're beautiful. I was really scared also of getting a staph infection. I got a staph infection the last time I had surgery, which was a C-section. I got a massive, horrible staph infection that infected the incision site, and then I took medicine for that, and it went away, and it came back, and it infected my breast, like my milk ducts and stuff, and then I took crazy medicine for it. I actually went to the hospital, and they gave me intravenous drugs for it, and then I was supposed to be better, and it actually came back a month later on my back. It was like in the skin, like in the layer of skin. It was horrifying and scary, and I felt so bad, like so ill, and I was really worried about that. Like, I was really scared, but they were awesome. They did such a good job, and they like took such good care of me, and I felt like everything was done so well, and the scars are looking great. The only negative that I can really give, and that has nothing to do with like the doctor or the hospital, is, and I did not know this, but you know, I guess maybe I have grown another allergy, as I did with shrimp and soy and peanuts. I was in a lot of pain, like unbelievable pain, probably day 3. So day 1, slept through it. Day 2, I was up and kind of moving around, sleeping a lot. At the end of day 2, so surgery early today, Wednesday, to the evening, to the morning of Thursday, to the evening, to the morning. So yeah, day 2, it was the evening of day 2. So it was the evening of Friday. I took my first shower, and basically what they said was, you can take, you know, like take your shower. You can get them wet. You're not washing them that first time. And if they get wet, just pat them dry. So that's what I did. Then I skipped a day, and the next day, because I've been taking a shower every other day because, well, 1, I'm not really doing much, and 2, I don't want to get them too wet, right? So the next shower, you can wash them gently with your hands, not rubbing on them, just kind of like going over them very gently, and then rinse them very gently, and then pat them again, you know, and stuff like that. Like you're not rubbing or scrubbing. Great. So I've been being very careful. Well, on like day 3, so it was like the morning after the first shower, I was like, they're itching so bad. And I understand that things itch when they heal, and I looked it up, and there's a crazy science behind it, and that's awesome and really cool. And again, another amazing thing about our bodies and about this amazing universe that we are part of. But that's not why I was itching. I was itching because I was having a reaction to the Band-Aids. So basically, you have like the dot that might be like this, not even, It's like a half of that size, that black piece. It's like that big from where they put the incision, right? And it's got the steri strip on it, keeping it nice and closed up. And then on both sides, pretty big in a Band-Aid shape, I had these like bleeding blisters from a reaction to the Band-Aid on every single one of these top 3 ones. It was crazy, and it itched so bad. It was like crazy making. So that was the only kind of rough patch. Everything else was really amazing. And I feel like it was a really good experience. And I mean, my family was amazing. The kids stepped in. Amber took great care of me. The kids have been doing the kittens and taking care of the kittens. It has been so good. And I'm eating completely different. And this is why, because my stomach before always hurt. And if I ate the things I was allergic to, like soy, if there's a little bit, I don't eat peanuts and I don't eat shrimp because obviously I don't want to have like a blistery reaction. But if I ate a little bit of soy, my stomach might be a little worse, but it was kind of like, it always hurts. So what is the difference? Like I might as well eat whatever I want to eat, right? And dairy, I always knew kind of bothered my stomach, but it was like, whatever, my stomach's all, like, it's kind of hard to care. It's almost like, it's just hard to care. It's like my stomach always hurts. So why should I not have something I want if it's always hurting? And like, let's say my stomach's always hurting at a 3 and having that piece of pizza is going to make it a 5 for an hour. And then it's going to go back to a 3. Awesome, right? Who cares? It's not that different. Well, stomach is a 0 now. I don't have stomach pain. And every once in a while, like I said, I'll have those bruised feelings, but for the most part, nothing. A 0. An amazing and beautiful and wonderful 0. But my wife made a meal from Hello Chef, and it was a flatbread pizza. It's not really a pizza. It doesn't have like pizza sauce and stuff, and it was not like, didn't have a lot of cheese, but it did have a little bit of cheese on it, and it had a little bit of soy in it. And I was like, whatever, I'm sure it'll be fine. I felt like I was being stabbed. I felt like I was being gutted. Like the pain was probably a 9. And I was like, whoa. And I told Amber about it, and she was like, okay, I didn't want to tell you this because I didn't want you to like have this already in your mind. But I was talking to a guy in the waiting room who was talking to, because his wife was there having a procedure done. And I told him that you were having your gallbladder taken out. And he said, oh my God, that my wife did that a couple of years ago. It was amazing. It did so well for her. The only thing is, if she eats XYZ, it makes her feel like she's being stabbed by a pitchfork. And I was like, oh my God, that's how I feel. So what I figured out was the trade-off, which really is not a trade-off at all, it's whatever, is that before I always felt like a 3, and then like bad foods. And when I say bad foods, I don't believe in there's actually bad foods, but I mean like bad for me foods, would cause it to maybe be a 5 or a 7, and then it'll go away. Now I'm a 0. And those bad foods cause it to be like a 9 or a 10, like doubled over. It hurts so bad. So that's gotten a lot better. And I am avoiding dairy, butter, like those things, soy quite clearly. I'm using little, like if I use oil, it's a little bit of coconut or olive oil, so like extra virgin olive oil, but it's for the most part it's coconut. I'm trying to think. I am eating like walnuts and like hey Molly, and like avocados. Those things are happening, but I am like not eating. I've had my throat, I was having like throat suckers because my throat was so messed up from the intubation tube, and those were okay. You know, I'm having like a little bit of sugar with those, and I just bought organic, the same suckers but without the throat medicine, because having one of those to suck on when you really need something sweet was really nice. But other than that, like I haven't had any sweets, I haven't had any junk food. I'm not doing anything like that. Not having dairy, I'm not having cheese and all that stuff. I am eating eggs, so eggs are still working. I'm trying to think, because I feel it's like obviously I'm having no soy, none of the allergens. I don't know, it's kind of cleaned my diet up a lot. You're gonna hear me talk about like vegan cheese, and like not all the time, not every day, but like if I decide that I have to have pizza, it's probably gonna be a homemade crust and vegan cheese. So just letting you know that I am not vegan, but that is like one of the easiest things for me to do if I want to have something but I can't have dairy, is obviously to substitute it like that. I'm really trying not to substitute things. I'm really just trying to kind of like live my life, and like, you know, but around Thanksgiving, I'm thinking I probably will. I have been really craving pizza. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, like those kind of things. So just kind of getting through life, figuring it out. But I am, you know, having a lot of like nuts and fish and beans and drinking my water. Everything's going really well. And I've read that sometimes you can reintroduce those things into your life later on and kind of bump into them and they hurt your stomach, and then you try them again in a couple of months. I really don't see any purpose for that. First of all, I don't have to reintroduce those things that are causing me issues. Second of all, I really don't have to be eating cheese and milk and all that stuff constantly. I could probably do without it. I can. Hint, I absolutely can. So, you know, it's like, I feel like it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. And it's absolutely, when you think about the benefit of feeling good, it's not at all, like, it's nothing. It's not even something to think about, really. So that's the really good, exciting news. Body pain, I haven't seen any difference in it. I have heard that the inflammation, I've read that sometimes the inflammation of that organ can trigger other inflammation. And so it is possible that some body pain can go away. And if that's going to happen, I am still waiting on it. I will tell you that the second bad thing that happened, so the first bad thing that happened was the Band-Aid reaction. The second bad thing that happened was I was taking a narcotic painkiller and it was working really, really well, which was awesome. That's great. But what kind of sucks about that is that then coming off of it, it just kind of re-amplified the everyday body pain that I live in. Because for a week there, I didn't hurt every time I got up. It didn't hurt to walk. I was having like really good days, and that's to be expected. I mean, I'm having really good days now. I'm having great days because my guts don't hurt. My guts are feeling good. My guts feel awesome. I love my guts right now. But I am still dealing with, obviously, like hip pain and knee pain and back pain and shoulder pain, like at all the trigger points. They say, oh, that's just fibro trigger points. Like all my trigger points are triggered. They're triggered. But I plan on exercising. Today I got the all clear to like move more and do more. I still have to be very careful about how much I lift. So I'm gonna be careful about lifting, and I'm gonna start, I think, moving, and I'm excited to share that journey with you guys. I'm excited to vlog more. I have a bunch of creative projects, and there's also going to be I don't know if we're going to call it like a let's learn together or like a let's do together or what we're going to do, but basically I'm going to learn a new craft and I'm excited about it, and I figure we'll just do it together and we'll figure it out. It's going to be fun. So there we go. Just a lot going on. This is just an update on the surgery. And, you know, I've never really said this. In fact, I don't think I've said this ever in my videos. But if you like this video or mildly interested in what comes next, you should absolutely subscribe and hit the like button, because that makes me feel happy. Oh, and leave a comment, because I live in the middle of nowhere now and I would love to talk to you. It'd be great. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. I'm going to go live my life.